I started to plant some broadbeans outdoors also, beside the ones that I have in the polytunnel. This is the variety Monica, which I bought from the CN seeds. I planted the Boneyard exhibition here in these rows, about 7 rows, and I'm going to put some holly leaves on them. Lots of leaves of holly I've cut, and I will put it just to detract the rats. That's Boneyard exhibition. I'm going to do it. It's quite dark at the moment. You see it's bright, but it's actually dark. So I have to be quick. Okay, I already have a piece of land covered in the broadbeans, and I have some also in the polytunnel, but I want to have more so I can freeze them. Broadbean Monica is one of the earliest, probably the earliest broadbean you can sow. And now in this new greenhouse that I built, and as you see here, I'm protected from the wind, rain and the elements here. I'm trying to plant some of these just in the case if there is any gap between those other broadbeans. Some of them were eaten probably by the rat or they didn't germinate. I will have something to replace them. So I'm going to do it now. That's the Broadbean Monica. For the sake of the germination, I plant 2 in each seed module, module compartment. So, if one of them germinates and the other didn't germinate, I've not lost anything. Hopefully both of them will germinate, who knows. So I'm going now to plant this in the module. Okay, as you can hear, the wind is lashing outside, and I'm planting in the safety of the new greenhouse that I built with the window panes. And I'm planting 2 in each module. Monica is the earliest broadbean. So because now it is March 5th I think it is today, I will have also a chance to get a crop in the May. So I'm now putting 2 seeds in each hole. As you see, this is a broadbean from the CN seed. They're treated in a way so they will not rot in the ground, they will not get moldy, and hopefully we will have a better germination rate from them. So in this module, which has a 5x4, it means 20 sections in this seed tray, means I can have at least 20 seedlings, but because I have doubled the amount, it's multi sowing technique, so I will have a multiple double the amount of the each module, so 40 plants. So beautiful sunshine outside. Sometimes you see rain, sometimes you see wind, but here inside is nice and lovely. You'll see how they will do. Take a few pictures. And now I will cover them. Now I've covered them, and to give them a better chance of holding their root, I have compressed them. So a little bit just to compress the compost, so they will have a good anchor for the roots. The roots can just grow very firmly. And that's it. In the greenhouse that I built just yesterday. And okay, in this area we have some rats. They come and go. We live in nature practically, so we cannot avoid them. They're here. If you get rid of one, the next one will come and replace them. So what we have to do, vermins practically. So what we have to do is to protect also against them. And one way of protection is that when you have something like broadbeans that they like, and other seeds that they may like it, like peas, the best way is to put something on your seed until they germinate. So I have this clear plastic and I'm putting it now on top of this seed tray, hoping that the rats will not be able to access this when it is on top of it. So we will see how, if it works. That's brilliant. And yeah, good protection in a way. And also it stops the evaporation and keeps it warm, kind of warm environment to grow. We will see if it works. This is the Broadbean bed that I planted in January, I think, or late January, early February. And as you see, it was in the Nordic bed, leaf mold just, and I planted the Broadbeans there. I now remove the cover, the black tarpaulin, and as you see, the Broadbeans are out. What I will do, because these leaf molds are not completely contained now, I will spread some compost on them. Here's a bag of compost, very cheap. I got it from Morrison's. 3 bags for £9. Each bag is 70 liters, which is about 70 kilograms, and that is about 1/4 of a ton. And now I'm going to cover the leaf mold and the Broadbeans with a layer, thin layer of compost. Just the areas that are covered with the actual plants, like here. And I don't touch the these holly leaves, just letting them to take care of the rest of the job. If they're effective, that will be what we want against the rats I'm talking about. Yeah. So Broadbeans, and as you can see, the ones which are here, Monica, have really done better than the ones early onward. I think it, what it was, I forgot. Green shaft, Hearst green shaft. Anyway, the Monica shining as ever. I have a set of Monica in the greenhouse, which I show you that. These are the Monica Broadbeans which I've sown in the modules in the greenhouse, and as you see, they have grown well. This is one of the most beautiful leaves of a Broadbean that I've ever seen, probably, at such an early stage. And I will plant these ones wherever there is a gap in the main bed. Sometimes we don't notice what we have. And I was watering the Three Sisters system, and I just, the beautiful smell of the flowers of Broadbean filled my nose. So I remembered what Sean was telling in the horticultural channel, showing the leaves of his Broadbeans, and they looked very thin and kind of without any width and pointed kind of leaves. I just wanted to see how is mine, and I look at it and I see that it seems so far we don't have that problem. And this can make the point valid that that is something caused probably by the pesticide in manure that people use. I have not used any manure. This was just the soil. I planted my potato last year in it, Christmas potatoes, and then I just topped it with some thick layer of the leaf mold. And then when I planted this, I also added a little bit soil to this compost. And that's it. That was it. And so far we have got away with this. I want to show what my neighbors has done, so see if it is the same observation. By the way, I can see that ants are now climbing the growing stems of the broad beans. That means they're bringing their black flies there, so you have to be careful. And the broad beans of my neighbor, I don't see anything on that. No thinning or narrow kind of leaf on the tip. So that is unique to what Sean was showing in his horticultural channel. So that's it, Sean. I think that you may be right. This can be a weed killer that they have used on the farms, and the manure produced from that wheat or hay or straw fed to the cattle and horses contain that weed killer. And when you use it on your own garden, you transfer all those poisons that causes the special kind of plants with leaves that are sensitive to those kind of weed killers absorb it and then suffer. Actually, it stops or slows down the growth. On the way to the nasty, I came across this huge field of broad beans. Just to show how big it is. Very interesting. We are in the broad bean, field bean farm, and Susan noticed something. These lines, these grooves that have cut in the soil, and in the gaps that they have cut, the seeds of the field bean are planted. And obviously they didn't bother too much about the wheat, although near the edge of the farm there are weeds and the rest of it doesn't have much. So I suppose they grow until July and they give some beans and then they feed them to the cattle. Huh? This is the way they look. They're almost near the flowering. Yeah. Are you harvesting the beautiful broad beans? You need a big basket for that. Let me bring something for it.
Take some and then take some more, yeah. They will go off at home, you've got no need to cook them.
Yeah, we have to freeze them, shell them and freeze. We can eat them also fresh. You cook the whole pot and you can just eat with the skin. The skin separate and the pods also separate. With salt and a little bit, you know, a Persian kind of herb called golpar, means the flower petal. It's kind of parsley-like seed, or parsnips-like seed. Looks like them and smells like them. Just ground them and then mix it with salt and add. You're using a paper bag for it, huh? Is it better?
Yeah. They don't sweat.
Don't sweat. This is the Hearst, or Onward, whatever Hearst, long shaft. And that is the Monaco. Monaco is already ready. We can harvest that one also. Lots of things to harvest.
Yeah.
Let us see one of them, Susan. Let us see how it looks.
No,
that's alright. We can eat it. You know, I can boil it. Don't worry. Put just a seed there. Huh? Just a seed. Oh, they are ready, Susan. They are ready.
Yeah, they're ready. I know. I tasted them.
Oh, that's the time. Good timing. And I'm thinking to actually put the potatoes here this year again. Christmas potato. Hopefully. I see some of them for the first time have got some aphid. This year we didn't have any aphid on this black fly. Now we have a few. I don't know how we escaped it, but it seems we managed. Although they were on our cherries, they were busy damaging the cherries. So thank you, Susan, for this. This really goes well with the broad bean. Is this mint? Any kind of mint. Including all this mint that we have here. It goes really well with broad bean. You are going to enjoy this tonight. Lots of harvest of broad bean and yet a lot more to go. Especially Monica, which is really good variety. Look at the size of the pods. They're huge, they're like big sausages. Compared to the hair spring shaft, they're really good and onward. Just for the sake of comparison, look at this broad bean. How massive it is. If I open it, you can see the inside. I can say these are the biggest broad beans I've seen in the UK so far. I've never saw such a big beans in any broad bean. These are massive. They're almost 1 inch in size. And this one has given 1, 2, 3, 4 large beans. And as you see, there is a lot more to harvest. I think this is enough for now. We can eat them. This is probably, if you buy it in the shop, probably you have to pay £5 for this, all of this. This is about 2.5 kilos. And yet we have a lot to go. Looking forward to the next crop of broad bean. We never had such a good quality in the broad beans. This is the first year we have such a really good quality, consistent, good size of the beans. It's a Monica and a Hertz long shaft, I think something like that. Really good quality, and we have a lot yet. And we have a lot in the allotment just to harvest. That's the ones that we have here, just harvested just for tonight, just to eat. The quality, consistency of the beans is really exemplary this year. Monica is my favorite. I have to grow Monica next year also. I bought it from CNC. Where you got this mint?
Oh, we got it ourselves.
Oh, did we?
Oh, we usually make Caesar. It's nice, it just gives a little bit of flavour.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and some with the pinks as well. That's dinner tonight along with our own eggs.
Yes. Everything on this plate is from allotment. Eggs, broad beans, peas, the fennel, the mint. Salt is not from allotment. Lettuce, cut and come again, and ice break. What I can say is that the fresh broad bean, it melts in the mouth. It's so beautiful and delicious. It's such a beautiful thing this time. When you cook it fresh, that's what happens. If it was old, that would have not been tasty. It melts in the mouth. Somebody was flaming something, paint or